Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Sharon's Nail Boutique. This is the set we're doing and I hope you guys really enjoy this one. Happy New Year everyone, welcome to 2021 and hopefully this is a better year than the last. Let's leave all that bad energy in 2020. So we're just going in and prepping these tips. These are my extra long pre-pinch square. I got these off of AliExpress. I'll leave the link for these in the description index below, as I always do. So I'm just prepping that nail by pushing all the cuticles back, using my cuticle ball bit, and etching the nail plate with my 150, 180 grit hand files, or 100, 150 grit hand files on the 150 side. And then you're just going to etch the surface of the tip itself. I always like to do that just so the acrylic has something better to adhere to. Just sticks better to a scratch surface rather than a smooth surface. So I'm just measuring all these tips up, making sure that they are the same length and that they are straight at the tip. And we will reshape these after acrylic anyway. So now we're going in with our OPI Band-Aid, one coat on all 10 nail plates, and then 2 coats of the No Lift Nails Acid Base Primer, one on all 10, and then one before my thin clear acrylic application. This is just a thin clear base so that when she comes back, we have something to file back down to. And so if we use any crazy colors, it doesn't cause staining or anything like that. So I am actually using my number 14 pre-pinched. I actually had the guy pinch it at the nail supply place. So yeah, I've slowed it down and I'm going in with my Mia Secret Frosted Pink. And this is actually more of like a milky white, and this is why I chose it, because the picture that she had brought in, the design was with a milky white, and instead of doing the design exactly like the picture, we made this our own. So the middle and the ring would have been full milky white with a design at the end. Instead, we chose to do, or the middle one would have had the heart just like the picture, but we did that on the middle, and then on the ring, instead of just having a milky white plain, we did milky white with some of the gold flakes going up the side. And there were gold flakes in the design as well, but it was only on, I believe, a couple of the fingers. So we chose our own iridescent background as well. It's not exactly the same as the picture. And instead of using a clear pink to go over the glitters, we chose to use a nude. So this design is probably technically different since we used multiple different things, but it was inspired by that picture that she brought in. It's just, I don't like to copy people fully, so I like my own. So that's what we did. And since I couldn't get these metal decals to stick, you know, curved to the nail naturally, what I did was I took it in my hand, and since they are very bendable, I just pushed it. I took it off again, and what I did was I crimped it with my fingers. I ever so slightly. You have to be very careful with this because they do bend easily. So you just push it kind of downwards a little and it'll give it that natural curve to the nail. So that's what I did. And when I was done doing that, I took a nice kind of wettish, more wettish, semi-dry, not really. And that's how I started encapsulating. So, and once you get used to it, you will get the hang of it, guys. Trust me, these things are easy to encapsulate and it just does it so much justice. I really love how these nails came out. I know my shaping has gotten so much better and my acrylic application in general. So I really enjoyed doing this set. And guys, oh my God, I just ordered Macart's Starry Night and the Eberouge Polygel kits. I'm getting the Starry Night kit today, and the Eberouge should be here on Thursday. I cannot wait to share those with you guys. And I just want to apologize to you guys for being off of YouTube for so long. I just have not been myself lately. I've been in this like funk. I don't know if it's depression, maybe just because of the year, the virus. I don't know. And then, you know, my stomach stuff has been really crazy lately too. It's been bothering me a lot. So I just really hope that you guys can forgive me for being off for a month, and we will have nothing but great videos coming And I really can't wait to get to 1,000 because I am super excited about everything I've been amassing for you guys and just can't wait to see who the winners are going to be. So moving on to our next hand, because what I do is I go one hand at a time and I'll do the design on one finger and then go to the next hand since I'm, copying on each hand, having them the same on each of the fingers. I move to each hand and do the design and then go to the next finger and go back and forth. So it's just easier for me that way. And I usually always work lightest colors to darkest colors so I don't get any staining in my liquid until the if I have to. I love this color for Milky White because it's not quite white. It's not too much like it's barely white at all. It's got just enough. And Mia Secret products are just so easy. For me, I've been using Mia Secret since I started. The only complaint I have with their stuff is when they make their colors, they make them in too small of a container. I wish they had them in bigger amounts, but it works. So just adding a little more down there because it's a little too thin. And then we'll finish with our cuticle bead up there, just pushing up. Well, actually, no. Our next bead will be the cuticle bead. So this is how you can actually do the nail and make it like perfect. Just going kind of small bead at a time. If it takes you 5 beads to build your nail, that's what it takes. It's not a big deal, guys. So I was just adding a little more because it was a little translucent on that side. And I'm just going to add the heart and then we'll encapsulate again. And we'll move on to, I believe it's the ring, where we do another milky white. And we're going to actually do the gold flakes going up like diagonally on the side of the nails. And it's kind of like triangular but diagonal. You'll see in a second. So I like to make sure that there's no bubbles or anything like that, making sure that I'm not making it too thick and that I'm pulling my product down enough. And for me, it is still too thick, I think. So I think I end up kind of pulling down on it more. I add another bead, wet, but not too wet. And finish off with my cuticle bead. Making sure it is nice and flush and thin up there and it is falling into place where I need it, because it's really important to pull from the bottom of your bead when you place it. Do not overplay with the top. Get it as thin as you can without touching the skin, and the rest of the bulk should be coming down the bottom. So you want bulk up there near the cuticle, but you want it shaped properly. You want it thin around all your edges and the bulk in the center, but out more. I think I'm going to do a video like breaking each bead down. I'll probably break the nail down in like 3 sections for you guys so it's easier. But moving on, so I guess I move on to the pinky next. And what we're doing here is a kind of a glitter ombre. So we're using these flakes, my mermaid flakes and multi-hex mix. And this is that purple greenish gold. It's the iridescent color that goes from like that purple to greenish gold. It's so pretty. They come in all different shapes of glitters. And then I'm using my gold flakes. And then when we're done with that, I'll come over the top with my Mia Secret Cover Nude, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm using Mia Secret Cover Nude. And I'll start with one and, blend it over the glitter. And then I'll go in with my cuticle bead when I'm happy with that. Just kind of wet it a little bit so I can remove some off of the flakes. Obviously the more you practice, the better you will get. And watching videos, just keep watching people, how they perfect around that cuticle, how they hold their brush, how they get the toe of the brush in and around where Tammy Taylor calls it hills and valleys, but it's basically like that thin edge in between the sidewalls and the cuticle. It's very thin. It's not going to be too big, because if it's that big, you're basically already needing a fill. So that would be grow out. You just want enough, like an 18th of an inch, basically. Like it's really, really, really tiny. So I'm just capping. Mainly the bottom portion is the most important, but I think I do come in with a bead over the nude as well. And you don't have to do that. You can just cap the bottom portion if you want. You don't have to cap the nude. Yeah, at first I wasn't going to, but then I do, just to kind of have it all in sync with each other. Just making sure that that's as thin as possible. And pulling it down. And you see how that looks from the side, guys? That's how you want your nails to look. You want them, especially like these are coffin-ish, but more like a tapered square. She didn't want too much of a coffin shape. She wanted it more tapered. So you want to make sure that when you're coming down the sides of your square nails, that, see how I'm holding my brush on that side like that? You want to make sure you're going down the sides like that, so that they are as thin as possible. It's still going to have color on the tip, so don't worry. Still going to be color there. You just want it as thin as possible. And that's why you hold your brush like that on the sides, because you're actually bringing it in. So you're like holding it on that 90-degree angle, turned to its side, and you're making those outer walls, as, see how I'm sticking like the toe of the brush in and around those side parts? That makes it as thin as possible, and it basically creates a barrier between your acrylic and that skin, so that you're getting that little tiny space that you need, and it's being created by your brush naturally. So that's what people talk about when they say make sure you do the work with your brush so you don't have a lot of filing in the end. That's what that means. So when I'm happy with that, we're going to go now, and I left that side in particular a little thinner, because that's where I'm coming in with my gold flakes, and I'm going to cap. So you don't want to build up too much of your milky white, because you have your gold flakes here. And so you want to be able to come in and cap this without over bulking the nail. So, and we will do this on both sides. And I think I actually end up just finishing the hand and moving on to the next hand for you guys. So it just depends, I guess, on my mood. The way I work is different sometimes, so I never really work the same all the time. So I just finished capping this nail, making sure again that the top and around the cuticle and sidewall areas are as flush as possible. And literally, I say it all the time, but it literally is a math equation. If you could imagine just a long vertical line going down the center, everything on either side should match each other. You know, unless you're going in and building like color blocking and stuff like that, and then you need to come in and cap your glitter parts and stuff. You know, there are different aspects to building encapsulated nails, but it still all boils down to math. So if, you know, you don't always have to look at it as a design thing. If you're looking at it like building a structure, you won't fail. You know, so you see how I'm coming down the side, and watch how I get like that super thin, like around the cuticle, around the sides. I'm like pushing up, placing it each bit, pushing it out, making sure that either side is not thicker than one, you know, like my right side is not thicker than the left side, and that I have the same amount of product on the right as I do on the left. So that's all important steps. You want to make sure that your entire nail looks the same. So now we're coming in with our bits of gold flakes and we will encapsulate afterwards. I really like that iridescent glitter underneath. I made that one day, not even really kind of thinking of where I was going with it, but it just came out so pretty. I really like how it came out because a lot of my clients love the mix. So now watch how I'm placing this. I'm going in like wet, more wettish, letting it do its thing, letting it polymize on its own, because when you have glitters, you want to make sure that you kind of go in with a more of a wetter bead so that it kind of buries itself in and around those spaces underneath, all around the glitters, because you don't want to have like air trapped around your glitter, because you'll be able to see it when you file. And sometimes if you have air bubbles, you could have it so that when you come in and file, that it leaves like a hole in the nail, because that's happened to me with like the poly gels and the gels before. So just be very careful. I think acrylic is a little bit easier to manage with the air bubbles when it comes to that, but it could still happen. So just pay attention to that, guys. So I'm just adding a little more to my free edge of that nail, making sure that it's even and that has enough, and checking the shape of my nail. When I have enough and I'm happy with the shape of it, I will move on to the thumb. And that's going to be a lot like our pinky one, where we did the bottom half, the glitter, as you can see. And then we'll go in with the gold flakes on it. And then we'll come in from the top over the glitter with our nude. And also, guys, I ordered the 4.23 ounce container of the Model 1's nude acrylic. If any of you guys have used their nude acrylic powders, let me know what you think of them. One, I got it because I've heard nothing but good things about Model 1s. And two, I got it because it was a really big container for a good amount. I think I got it for like $11.99, but that's probably because I'm a Prime member. Speaking of Prime, if you guys are on any type of state assistance, you can get Prime for 50% off a month. So keep that in mind, guys. So now I'm coming in with those gold flakes, and I'm just making sure that they're like spread out nicely, because I don't want, on the thumb, I don't want them to be like all on top of each other. So I wanted them to be like spread out nicely. So now I'm going to come in with my first bead of the nude, the Mia Secret nude. I'm just kind of let that set up a little bit, and then I'll pull it over the top. That's my first blending bead, and then I'll come in with my next bead. And pull the bottom portion down. And now I'll come in with the cuticle bead. And I pull that off real quick. So now I'm going in with the cuticle bead, and I'm just kind of pushing that over ever so slightly, just making sure that it is nice and thin up and around those wall areas. And I do come in with another bead of the nude because I just felt like it wasn't enough. It was a little tricky shaping up in this area on her nail. Just kind of filling in that area because seemed like it was missing product over in these areas. So I just wanted to make sure that it was built properly. Obviously, you don't want it looking crazy. So, and I'll leave the nude like that, and then I'll come in with my clear and cap the free edge area. And I think I add a little clear at the top, just so that when I come in and file, it's a little bit easier to shape. So I add those and a little more glitter first before I come in and cap. And that's pretty much it for the design, guys. It's the same on the opposite hand. Same exact designs on each of the fingers that I did over here for you guys. So I'm going to leave you guys to watch it. If you have any questions, comments, constructive criticism, concerns, whatever it is, guys, leave it below. I'd be happy to hear from you. Again, I apologize for being off for so long. I will try my best to not go that long. I really want to set up a schedule where I at least upload, at least once or twice a week. So let me know what you guys think about that and what you think about these nails. Are they keeper, throwaway, garbage? What do you think? I personally love, 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 love how these came out. So I cannot be mad at these nails. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about like my progress too, about how my nails have come so far. I'd love to hear from you guys and your opinions and everything. So, yeah, I will see you guys soon and talk to you guys soon. I will leave the links for some of these products in the description index below. And I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys all so much. Welcome to my new, subscribers. I have not you guys have not gone unnoticed. I see you, and I will be doing a shout out for you guys in my next video. So stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Love you guys all, and welcome to my new subbies, and welcome back to all my existing subbies. So I'll see you guys later. See you guys next time. Love you. Mwah. Bye.